Hey, yo, check it.
Welcome back, hero.
My word is my sword, Hokage and Batosai, pulling the blades out of the forge, yo. Prior to my knowledge of the Force, was thinking Jedi, but through obtaining holocrons from both sides, I'm under gray skies. Everything that glitter ain't kyber crystal, my mind to lift you. In this time we shine together, disarm your pistol, yo. Welcome to the SwordCast, my wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast, my wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast.
Yes, sir.
SwordCast.
Episode
93, I think.
I actually think yesterday was 93. Or last. This is 94.
You might be right. So this might be 94.
This is episode Ezekiel Ansah. You remember how sweet everybody thought he was about to be?
Hey, I actually played basketball with him before.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Was he just like
he's a
super athlete?
Dunking on everybody, getting every rebound.
Just the prototypical NBA or NFL.
Super athlete.
but like too much though.
Too much power.
Yeah, like,
you know,
bro, nigga, chill, bro. Like, we don't do that in this sport.
We don't do that here. Yeah. I always the football players on the basketball team in high school used to be a little too much intensity.
Yeah, it used
little too much. Like we won't do that here.
Yeah, hey, how about you just relax a little bit, man? Like, we get it. You're athletic. Like, how about you shoot a jump shot? I bet your jumper was broke.
You do things really hard. We know.
Yeah. Hold on. I bet you probably never even seen him shoot a jump shot before, have you? It was just everything was a dunk or an out of control drive. Yeah,
like just drive into the basket, offensive rebound, like just getting. Yeah, I don't think I did see him shoot it.
I'm not sure.
now that I think, like, he was scoring a lot of baskets too. So like, how do you? I don't think he shot any jump shots though.
Hey man, they can't stop you. If you playing against mere mortals and you're Ziggy Ansah, you can do whatever you want.
Playing against mere mortals.
Yeah, man. So what do you been into lately?
Episode 94, man. I feel like 1994 was a good year. I don't really know why. It just sounds like one of those years that just hit on like comic books, television. For
movies,
me, I tend to think music, hip hop.
I tend to think I have a lot of memories from 90. So I used to have this thing when I was younger, and it's definitely not the case now that we done got older. But I used to feel like every odd year was way longer than every even year. And like just more stuff happened in every odd year. So like 1993 and 1995, I remember a lot of shit that happened. And 1997. I feel like those years lasted forever. I remember 1996 kind of. I don't really remember a lot of 1994. And 1998 was just like over in the blink of an eye.
Yeah. I kind of remember 98 being a short one.
Yeah. But when you get old, like every year is fucking super short, dog. Every single one.
Yeah, you're like, what?
Bro, it's like,
how's it?
Hold on, wait, watch this. I'm about to prove my point. It's already July. It's already August.
It's August, bro.
Of 2021. What the fuck? We just started. Didn't we just start this year?
If you have kids, it's even worse. I feel like this year has lasted for 2 months.
It's crazy. Because we've been inside the whole time for like 2 straight years now.
2 straight years. And then summer, like, this has been the most rain that we've ever had, ever.
It has not felt like summer.
It's rained almost every day. So, like,
due to either the coronavirus or the
or global warming.
Yeah, and it's just like hurricane every night now. Everybody's basement is flooded.
A splash of climate change.
Right.
Yeah. It's been a weird year again for like the second year.
Indeed.
Man. Episode 94. What are you into? What are you into currently, dog?
Man, Final Fantasy. I'm like I'm a late
That's
blooming Final Fantasy fan. Like I flat out fuck with Final Fantasy now. That was a lot of F's in a row just now. But
Final
like I
Fantasy fan. Yeah, it was like 4 or 5 F's in there.
flat out fuck with Final Fantasy fan. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
a lot of F's. Because I was like a late bloomer to Final Fantasy. Like I didn't play Final Fantasy 7 when it first came out. That was like everybody in our generation's first introduction. I don't want to
like
hear
JRPGs.
and just to Final Fantasy in general, man. Like a lot of people say, "Oh, Final Fantasy 6 was the best." Like, I don't care what you say, unless you're 50 or 40 years old right now. Your first Final Fantasy was Final Fantasy
Was 7.
That was the one that was like I think they made Final Fantasy 6 for like Super Nintendo, and it was a different number in Japan or something weird. Like you didn't know what you were talking about. Final Fantasy 7 was the one you started with, and then we all like that one. We all like Final Fantasy 8. I think we didn't like I don't really remember Final Fantasy 9, but I know we all love Final Fantasy 10.
Yep.
And then I feel like a bunch of them went online for a while. Like Final Fantasy 11, 12 were both like weird. It's kind of one-offs. Then Final Fantasy 13, that was for like Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3.
I remember that. I remember that one.
That was the first one that had a woman protagonist. It had Lightning. She was the main character. That one had a sweet soundtrack too. So truth be told, Final Fantasy, this is about to sound crazy, but Final Fantasy 13 was the actual first Final Fantasy that I played all the way through. I never played Final Fantasy 10, but when I was in high school in the dorms, that was the game that everybody was playing like every weekend. So I basically watched them niggas play that whole game from like start to finish. And then Final Fantasy 14 was an online game. And then Final Fantasy 15 was for PlayStation 4. That one was dope. I like that a lot. And I've been recently replaying Final Fantasy 7 Remake, which is, truth be told, I know a lot about Final Fantasy just because of how much of a pop culture, like Cloud and Tifa and Barrett, like how much of a pop culture phenomenon Final Fantasy 7 was. But I'm telling y'all a little bit of a nerd secret here. I actually never finished Final Fantasy 7 because I never owned it. I only played the first disc. Which is like ironically kind of similar to where the Final Fantasy remake stops. So like I'm kind of going into the rest of the Final Fantasy world fresh, which is a rare position for somebody to be in after 21 years. So yeah, man, I'm flat out into Final Fantasy.
That's what's up.
And I look forward to when the next one comes out. What about you?
Yeah, that's what's up. I remember before. I actually remember getting into Final Fantasy strictly because there was a kid that I was in elementary school, and there was a kid in my class who he was one of those kids I used to draw all the time.
I think you told me about this.
Yeah, and he used to literally only draw Dragon Ball characters in Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy, yeah.
And I used to just be like, "Doug, who is this dude with this giant sword?" You know what I'm saying? And he's like, "Oh man!" And he started telling me about the game, and he was like, "I'm gonna bring it to you so you can borrow it." And he brought it to school for me to borrow it. And me being a child, I was like, "Oh, sweet!" And then I got home, I was like, "Oh, you know what? We have a Nintendo 64, dog. We don't have a PlayStation." You know what I'm saying? So
I actually don't have the system.
So we ended up. I ended up literally getting and asking for and wanting a PlayStation. Got it probably like 2 years after that, the first PlayStation, and then played it. That was the first game I played on the first PlayStation because I had like 2 years of build up from that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then I finally played it. So, but yeah, bro. I've just been. I went back, started playing Ghosts again, so I can get ready for the expansion. I was terrible.
Man, trust me.
Goodness, I was trash. I had to get it back.
We played. Me and Josh and Edmund played this weekend, and we were.
Oh man, I was busy. I was busy, but I wish I could play.
Yeah. We'll let you know that we got to get. We got
to link. We got to link back up. And I forgot how nice we actually were because I've had some fans like comment and hit me up online like, "Yo, man, we got to link up. I'm level 105." You know, I'm like, "Oh, this dope. Yeah, we got to play." And then I opened my game up and I'm like, "Oh, I'm level 110."
Yeah, no, I'm sweet.
I'm like, we were actually mad nice to each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But went back to play that. I finished. I'm sad. You know, it's moment of silence for Ninja Turtles 2012. You know, it's always sad when you finish a show that you really like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I finished it. Ninja Turtles 2012, man. I finished it. I'm done. Loved it. It's 5 seasons. If I had to eventually I want us to do the tier list of all the Ninja Turtle incarnations,
Mhm.
the different shows and movies and everything. But I can honestly say, man, like this is definitely I I love the movie from 1990 so much. I love the IDW comic books so much, but this show is definitely in that tier, that top with like those renditions of Ninja Turtles. I loved it. Thought it was so good, man. It's like I've said before I even finished it, like it's got the best mixture of the comic books, man. Like you want the darkness, the crazy storytelling, and you know the characters are super accurate. It's got awesome fights. The action is really good. And I said this in the Discord. I think that the Shredder from the 2012 show is the mo- he might. I think he's probably my favorite Shredder outside of the movie one from the 1990
Yeah,
movie.
that's
But it's definitely the most action Shredder. He fights all the time in that show. You know, Shredder don't usually fight that much.
right. Yeah,
He'd be on the 2012 show giving out hands and
yeah.
kicks. He'd be on there scrapping. Loved it. So good, man. It's just you know the all the nonsense of Ninja Turtles, man. Ninjas, aliens, different dimensions. You know what I'm saying? It's so good, man.
You know, that's the thing about when you see the other renditions, like the more comic savvy
Yeah,
renditions of Turtles, like you don't realize how like wonky some of that shit is, bro. It's like a lot
yeah.
of wild
It's
and crazy
crazy.
characters that
It's
you didn't
bro.
really see in the kids version.
Right. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And it's also like I love this. I love like the season finales of were so good. I
Mhm.
know for all the seasons. I think if I had to rank the seasons, I would it's five. I would say number two, season two, in my opinion, is the best, is my favorite. The finale is so good. Um, I think at number two, I would put season four at number two. Season four has kind of a rough start because they start off in space, and because of what happens at the end of season three. So they're in
Mhm.
space for like a long time, you know what I mean? And it's a little, I think it's overkill in my opinion. I think it lasts too long. But when they do go back to Earth, the way that it picks up is kind of makes up for the boringness of them being in space for so long. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And then season four, like that's when you get the final showdown with Shredder and everything. So, and then in third, I would say I would put season one in third. I think season one's really good, man. And then season three, and then season five. Even though season five had a couple of my favorite episodes, it's got the Usagi
Okay.
Yojimbo story arc on there. It's got a really dope episode called Lone Rat and Cubs. It's about Splinter when he's like
Nice.
when he's like keeping them when they're babies and he's protecting them, and he be on there. Whew, man, he be on there going scrapping.
Oh, I'm
That's really
sure.
dope. Yeah, it's a really good episode. But other than that, season five was I didn't think it was very good. It's kind of like you could tell it was one of those things where I think the show was supposed to end after season four.
Nope. Got to
'Cause
make some more money.
yeah, toys sell toys, man, sell
Yep.
toys and money. You know what I mean? Because season four definitely if you do watch it, the last episode of season four is incredible. It's my favorite episode probably of the whole show. And you could tell it was the show could have ended there, you know. So,
Or
but
was
I'm not complaining because you get the Usagi episodes in season five. So, but definitely you could tell the show should have ended at season four though. But yeah, man, I loved it. I finished it. I loved it, and I'm actually thinking about since I'm on my turtle kick, I might check out the Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
Okay.
the one that everybody hated on.
Bro, I haven't watched it,
So
but I saw a fight
yeah,
scene that blew my
yeah,
fucking mind,
I
bro.
saw that. I saw that too, bro, and that's why I
I
might
was
check it out.
like,
I mean,
hold
Jay,
on, bro. That
right?
shit
You know,
looks sweet, dude. That shit looks like I know a lot of people hate on. I know all the characters are different and they look silly, but that
but you
fight
can't. So
scene
you
was,
can't say don't look. You can't say don't look
bro. That
sweet.
fight scene, I don't care what nobody said. That fight scene was sweet as fuck, dog.
Right? No, 100%, bro. And my thing is like, I'm um I'm not like somebody who I appreciate all the turtle stuff, man. Like, so I'm gonna check it out. And Jay, my son likes it. He said the show's dope, so I'm gonna watch it. Give it a shot, man. So that's what I've been into, man. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2012, definitely my favorite Ninja Turtle show ever. Um, I think it's the best one. I really like 2003, but like I always say, the whole Shredder thing, the whole plot twist with Shredder in 2003 kind of ruined it for me. So
What happened
uh,
with Shredder? He said
so
he was a
here's the
alien.
Ultron. Yeah.
Yeah,
So in the 2003 show, like, and this is, in my opinion, I think this is the best looking Shredder. I think the
it looks
2003
sweet.
Shredder looks scary. He just looks really dope. But
He's like 12 feet tall or something crazy in
he got
it.
like these red eyes,
Yeah,
and you don't see his face. Like, he just looks awesome. But then they do this. Then it's like a plot twist where Utroms are basically Krang, the aliens that look like brains. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Before they were called Krang, they were called Utroms. And what happened is there's like an evil Utrom who like brainwashed a bunch of the other ones, and his name was Krang. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
And that's why they call them Krang now. But they're called Utroms, and Shredder in the 2003 show ends up being Utrom, and so it's just a Utrom controlling a body that's Oroku Saki, and then controlling the armor. So it's not even an actual Shredder's not an actual person. So
oh, that's trash. Yeah, that's super
trash.
sus. So
Yeah, it's
Oroku Saki just died like hundreds of
yeah,
years ago or something.
yeah, he's like not even a real person in that show. So
That's
I
trash.
didn't I didn't like that at all. So yep. But yeah, man, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2012 series, amazing. Check it out. My favorite season is season 2. Favorite episode is, I think it's called Awari. It's the very last episode of season 4. Incredible. Check it out.
Boom. All right, man. A little wrestling recap. Take us through the weekend of wrestling or the week
Yeah,
of
man.
wrestling.
Very, very good stuff happening everywhere except WWE, guys.
What else is new?
I mean, it's just real disappointing because I'm sure you've seen some of the things online. Like, apparently Vince is going to be getting his hands into NXT more, which, you know, I can kind of tell it's already happening because NXT uh, has not had me as excited as it has in past years.
What do you think about the rumors that Vince is gearing up to sell the property?
I mean, I mean, I could totally see it. I feel like he is. I mean, look, man, all the WWE, apologists and everybody who's always like vouching for everything they do, like, and every time they do something, they do one thing good or have one good show. Everybody's like, see, like, and it's okay, bro, but like, I can also like shoot 10 half court shots and make one. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. Like, it's not.
Or anytime AEW has one slip up. Oh, hey, I told you it was trash.
Exactly, bro.
And see, your sparklers weren't that cool.
Yeah, bro. Okay. Like, I can't stand people that do that because at the end of the day, man, like, there are two different kinds of wrestling fans, bro. Like, there's like diehard pro wrestling fans who just care about the wrestling and they don't really care about all the other entertainment crazy stuff. Like, we just want to see sweet wrestling. You know what I'm saying? And then there's WWE fans who care more about like Bill Goldberg coming in for an appearance. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, stop. And I just think I think Vince has always cared about the casual fan. It's WWE's not for the hardcore pro wrestling fan. You know what I mean? And I think that he's starting to maybe realize that in this day and age, right, the diehard fan is kind of, the numbers are there now. You know what I mean? When before you could kind of only care about the casual fan. But now you got the internet, you got social media, you got people that are constantly, you got people that are constantly putting down the product because of how bad it is. And there's alternatives now again, you know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I wouldn't be surprised if he sold it because he already sold WWE Network to Peacock.
Yeah, true that. So hold on.
Sell it, give it up. How much money? Well, damn, pal, how much money are you talking? Yes,
let's talk turkey.
Chicken.
So we talked niggers. Coffee. I didn't learn about chicken. So we talked off air about how Jalen Green is randomly turning heel. So another thing just flashed across my my computer here. So before so this is a quote right here. Before leaving the Walnut Creek apartment and relocating to LA, so he would write down his goals on yellow sticky notes on the door, cross them off when he accomplished them. Before leaving the Walnut Creek apartment and relocating to LA, the only one left read, "Be the number one pick." And then he goes on to say, the number one pick, he tells me, that would be a dream come true. I'm not going to lie. If that happens, I'm going to have a breakdown. And naturally, he has a preference in mind. Quote, I want to live in Detroit. Now,
oh my gosh.
Later today, hold on, quote, watch this.
Oh my
Jalen Green is, quote, glad the Pistons didn't take him because there aren't many things you can do in Detroit. Like, bro,
come on,
go away, bro. Like, what's the problem? We showed you love, dog. Like, why are you turning heel? We liked you. I was ready to be a fan. I was ready to root for you. But like, let's not get it twisted, bro. There was never a point where you were going to be the number one pick, man. We were thinking about getting you if we could trade down and get a bunch of other shit. I would have been totally fine with it. But like, this not some great insult. Everybody knew he was going number 2. What's the problem? Some people thought he was going number 3.
Right. Look, bro. He would have been doing this no matter what the first. He needs that narrative, man. He needs that.
I guess I don't like that. I guess this is exposing a part of his personality that I don't know if I don't really vibe with that.
It's whack, but it could also be like his agent or something.
True. That's a good point. And it's gonna work for him. Like, if he becomes a star, like,
of course it's gonna.
He's
of
the
course
shit
it's
talking.
Of course it's gonna work for him because this is Now I'm not saying that these two players are on the same like level coming in, but this is definitely on the same level as like LeBron and Melo being rookies at the same time, and every time they played each other, it was a big giant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like this is what's gonna happen to these two. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, look, man, I don't want to hear it. Sure, I'd be willing to bet that Jalen Green is going to average more points per game than Cade Cunningham. But do I think Cade Cunningham is going to have?
I actually don't know, bro.
I don't know either. But if it, let me put it like, if it happened, it wouldn't surprise me. Right?
Yeah,
if you tell me that at the end of their rookie seasons, Jalen Green averaged 22 points per game and like 3 assists, 4 rebounds, but Cade averaged like 18, 6 and 6. I could totally see that. But guess who's winning Rookie of the Year? It's gonna be Cade. It's gonna be Cade. So
and his team might make the playoffs too. So.
Right. Anyways.
Yeah, bro. I feel that.
Fucking weirdo. Now I have to root against him, which is annoying because I wanted to like him. He can hoop. I like his game. Now you made me a fucking an enemy now. All right. Well,
he turned into Anakin, man.
Yeah, right. Anyways,
but yeah, man. Yeah, back to wrestling, man. I mean, AEW had their first episode of, I think it's called Rampage. It's going to be their new Friday show.
Yeah.
Which let's be. Yeah, it's going to be dope. I think it's only an hour.
Yeah, that was what surprised me. I didn't think it was going to be that short, but I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I
but
like
it's dope. It's very dope because this here we have the show that's going to be just the matches. You know what I'm saying? Like it's going to be a sprint. It's going to be probably three, 4 good matches in an hour.
They're all going to be like high, like every single one is going to be like a top star.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think that's good for them, man. And then so that show was dope. I mean, Christian beat Kenny Omega for the TNA title. And then I kind of thought that it's gonna be this thing where Kenny is gonna start losing all his belts. This dude, the GOAT, by the way, goes to Mexico to do AAA the next day and beat Andrade on Saturday, right after Rampage, and defended that belt that everybody thought he was gonna lose. And that match was fire. You should check it out if you haven't. Ric Flair actually, who just recently got out of his WWE contract, actually brought Andrade to the ring.
Oh, nice.
A little
connection.
Him and Charlotte are married, so that was dope.
But hold on, though. I'm actually not that surprised that Kenny won, because if you think about it, like, AEW is the main flagship for all four of those belts right now. And they haven't been building up any of the Kenny Andrade stuff on AEW at all. So it would be weird if he lost it there.
Yeah, I actually agree big time with that. And then New Japan had a show on Saturday night as well. Resurgence. Tanahashi beat Lance Archer, bro, for the United States Championship. Remember, he popped up on Dynamite and was saying he wanted a challenge for us. So that was fire. Then you got Carl Anderson and Lou Gallows they won. They defended the Impact tag titles, and then Gorillas of Destiny came out and started something with them. So that was a good show, man. It was dope. So a lot of dope wrestling stuff, a lot of exciting stuff to coming up. And I just feel like it's like, New Japan is my favorite. I'm very biased to New Japan, but it's like, it's just, you got New Japan, you got AEW. AEW is on fire right now, so I would probably put them at the top. Then you got New Japan, then you got you still got like Ring of Honor, who's starting to come back and they're doing stuff. You got Impact, and it's like you got all of these. Will Osprey also came back. You know what I'm saying? He came back at the New Japan show, so he's back. He's gonna start wrestling again. Then you just got like WWE, like having Bill Goldberg in a title match at SummerSlam. Like,
was SummerSlam yesterday? Was he? Is it?
No.
Or is it?
I think it's next weekend. I believe it's next weekend. But then you got just all right, that's wrestling.
So actually, we should be good for our normal pizza and wings. But what's a fucking funny ass like random problem that we might have?
What?
Nigga, did you know that like there's a national chicken wing shortage? Do you know that that's a thing? Like, I know that's so random, but like I got a pizza yesterday for the crib.
My gosh, that's hilarious.
I got a pizza yesterday for the crib, and like they didn't have no wings. Like Hungry Howie's didn't have any wings.
National chicken wing short. That's very specific short.
But I'm saying, like, what the fuck is that? What happened there? Like, how is that a thing? I don't understand.
I have no idea, but it's also pretty funny.
It is. So that'll be the name of this week's episode.
National chicken wing shortage.
So in the comments and in the Discord, can y'all please explain to me what the bloody hell is going on? Because I hate to be a stereotype, but I do enjoy chicken, and I don't like black. See, we knew you like chicken. Hold on, wait. I got another story, bro. I think I might have told you this off here. I don't know if I told this on the cast though. Bro, I was at work one time, bro, before the pandemic, when I was actually working at an office, and I had some leftover chicken wings that I brought to work.
Oh yes, you told me about that.
which is my first mistake, because I'm instantly like, I just second nature, like, all right, let me get these chicken wings. I'm hungry. And I'm like, damn, I forgot.
Yeah,
hey, folks around. I forgot that they, you know what I'm saying? I'd be feeling a little bit uncomfortable. So I'm like, all right, whatever. It's 2019 at the time. People are fine. Let me just go ahead and eat my little chicken. So then I sit down and eat. I'm like, I kind of want some hot sauce. And then I was like, bro, I can't be the black person getting caught putting the hot sauce on fucking chicken wings around white folks. So I'm thinking to myself, like, all right, it's cool. Ain't nobody down here. I'm the only one in the lunchroom right now. So I sneak over and grab the goddamn hot sauce, nigga. And then you already know it's Frank's. And so I look around and shit, nigga. I don't see nobody. So I crack that motherfucker open, and then I turn around and it's a white woman looking. She looking like, see, I know you niggas like the hot sauce. I know y'all like that little hot sauce. See,
Oh, man.
I caught you.
Caught ya.
See, yeah, it's good, isn't it? Like that, Franks, don't you? And I turned around and just to myself, I'm like, damn, shit. I can't believe I let her catch me doing that. So yeah, sorry, black folks. I set us back. I leaned into a stereotype, and when I thought white people were looking, my bad.
They're always looking.
They're always looking. Oh man. And she tried to say, they like to make little small talk. Oh, some shit like I put that shit on everything.
Now the party's starting.
Right, exactly. Oh, now we're cooking with grease, bud.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Jesus.
Oh, we're not so different, you and me.
Oh hell no. Anyways,
I knew we were related.
Right. Anyways, so yeah, bro. Marvel What If dropped this weekend or last week.
Man. It did.
How'd you like it?
Yeah, I thought it was good, man. It was after we talked about it, kind of like what it was gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was about what I expected. But I do have to admit, I was impressed by the animation. I thought the animation was
really looked really dope.
It was different. I thought it was cool, man. I enjoyed it. I'm excited for the next episode, which I believe is going to have Chadwick Boseman's voice in it.
Oh, is this the Black Panther?
I believe so.
The Black Panther Star-Lord mashup.
Yeah,
that's really interesting. I'm very curious to see how that story is.
I mean, all of these are going to be really interesting.
Yeah.
But what did you think of it?
It was dope. I thought it was super, super good. The animation was incredible. I always thought Peggy Carter was a cool character. It was like nice to see her get her shine. I did think that it was a little heavy-handed, like the cartoonishly sexist white man, like, you should have been behind the fucking in the kitchen or some shit.
In the kitchen.
He literally said something that sexist, and it was just kind of like you can tell like a white man wrote that script, because that's just like that's not what racism looks like anymore. That's not what sexism looks like anymore. I mean, maybe sometimes it still looks like that, but it's mostly like microaggressions and very like subtle, right?
Fact.
Or systemic. I shouldn't say subtle. They're not subtle, but like systemic. They're not that like cartoonishly ridiculous. Because that's just easy, right? It's easy for men to point at that and say, oh, like that guy's a sexist monster. I don't say that to women, so that means that I'm not sexist. When it totally, like, there are all kinds of ways you can still be super problematic and super sexist without being that.
You guys are the same. Relax, bud.
Right, bro. Like it's just like in these movies where you've got the ridiculously old racist cop that just like spits nigger at every black person he sees. And then white folks get to look at that and say, "Oh, I'm not racist because I don't act like that."
I don't act like that. See,
right? Like, no, that's not. Yeah. Stop. So white folks and men, stop writing characters like that, because you're giving problematic people a escape route, and that's just not hot. But anyways, other than that, that's like a woke like nitpick thing that I'll say. But other than that, I thought it was super, super dope.
Right. And this isn't going to be something with a cohesive storyline, is it? Because
I don't think so.
I didn't feel like that after. Yeah, I don't think it is. I think it's going to be this little isolated what if stories. But I thought it was cool. Doesn't mean it's not dope. So
sure, yeah.
I am looking forward to the next episode, and even more so, can't wait to see Shang-Chi, man.
Yep.
They keep dropping trailers. I'm not watching them. I
haven't watched it either.
I usually only watch the first one, so I'm excited for that.
So I did have one. This is like I'm like 5 steps ahead right now, but I had one regret about the what if.
Okay.
And this is like, watch the chess move I'm about to make here. I was worried that when I saw the actor who was playing Owatu, the Watcher. Why can't I think of his name now? Jeffrey Wright. I was sad to see that, because now it's very possible that Jeffrey Wright won't play Professor X. And in my opinion, now, like once I thought of that idea as Jeffrey Wright as Professor X, like I can't see anything other than that. I cannot unsee it, bro. Like he's the absolute perfect person for that role.
I feel that.
But anyways, whatever. Who cares? We're still like 5 years away from the X-Men anyway, so no worries. But yeah, man. So shout out to Marvel What If. We're looking forward for that to come back out as well. So you've got a really interesting question here, man. I want you to go first because I have to think about this still. What is your most prized nerd possession right now?
Oh, that's such a hard question. Shout out to the homie Eric Greenlee, man. He's got a podcast, and I always see the stuff that he posts, and he's got good questions all the time.
He is a world-class question asker.
He is. And this is a hard one because as a collector of so many things, it's hard. I have a really good comic book collection with a lot of gems in there. I got like a lot of figures, a lot of Pokemon stuff. I think I'm gonna cheat, and I think I would have to say, out of all the stuff I have, man, I think I would have to say my G.I. Joe collection, only because out of all the stuff I collect, like that's the one thing that me and my son do together.
That's
like,
dope.
I have a lot of figures, a lot of Pokemon stuff, but when me and him play together, like it's always G.I. Joe. You know what I'm saying? Like that
That's
moment,
dope, man.
whenever we're playing with each other, it's always that. So
and he might be the youngest G.I. Joe fan in the world.
Right. Right. Facts. So I would have to say probably my G.I. Joe collection, which has tons of cool ninjas and Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow and all those guys. So,
isn't there a Red Ninja too?
Yeah, there is. And the name is just Red Ninja.
I'm so disappointed, Doug.
Technically Jinx is a Red Ninja. She's a girl. But there is also just kind of a generic, just red Ninja. But yeah, man. So, yep. Shout out to the G.I. Joe Ninjas. That's probably my pick. What about you?
So I'm gonna probably. I'm not really that much of a collector, to be honest.
Yeah.
I do have. I might start being a collector now, like I have been as an adult more than I was when I was a kid, because I played with stuff. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's pretty normal, though, right? Like, who was thinking about collecting shit when you were?
I did too, man. And that's another thing. Like my son. He always tells me like he likes that I collect things, but also like we play with them. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't get it twisted. I've never been an in the box guy. You know what I'm saying? Like if I buy something, like I'm opening it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not an in the box collector.
That being said, so I've got two answers. One is in a box and the other one is not. So hold on one second. I'm about to grab it.
Hey.
So this actually is in a box.
Fire.
This is a Captain Benjamin Sisko.
That's fire.
12-inch action figure in the box still. There are not that many of these. I don't know. It's probably not worth that much, but
you'd be surprised, bro. There are some things that are worth a lot of money out there.
So I actually watched the Toys That Made Us episode of on Netflix. So this is from the Playmates line when they were still with Playmates. So this is actually older than I thought. Because Star Trek, their toys were made by Kenner for a while. I think
Kenner did Star Wars too. Yeah.
And they started doing Star Trek toys to try to capitalize on since there wasn't a lot of Star Trek at the time or Star Wars at the time, but they weren't making nearly as much money, obviously, because the audience of Star Trek is much older than Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars is kids.
So they moved it to Playmates. Actually, I have to think about it, but I know Playmates was early. It was very early because now They've got like a multi-licensing deal, but who does most of their toys now since like the mid 2000s is McFarlane, and they've got like a bunch of like super high quality figures that are all like $60. So McFarlane can kiss my ass.
McFarlane, so they do the My Hero Academia figures that you see now too.
Yeah. But now that I'm an adult with some adult doll hairs, at some point I gotta get me a Hot Toys joint, bro. But
dog, I already they're so expensive. I want to get one too, man. I gotta get one.
So if you I think I know the answer to this, but if you have to get a Hot Toys toy,
oh man, bro,
you only get one. You only get one.
If I can only get one, dude, that's such a hard question. I saw the Snake Eyes that looked completely just crazy. I saw a Storm Shadow that looked crazy. Oh man, that's a hard question. Ooh, I don't know, man. They look like the person.
Yeah. So for those of you who
all cloth, it's like all cloth clothing too, I think.
So if you're not a toy nut, right? Hot Toys is like an exclusive line of. When I say high, it's like the
mugs are luxury.
It's not so like you might think like, oh, if I'm gonna make a metaphor, I'm gonna say like, oh, it might be. It's like the Mercedes Benz of toys. Like no, it's like it's like the Bugatti. Not even that. It's like the McLaren supercar of action figures. Like they're all like probably about this size.
Yeah, they're about 12 inches, and they are just.
But they cost like $600
a
pop. Like no bullshit. They cost like some of them get up to $1,000, and they are like fucking
lifelike.
Like bro, it's like
ridiculous.
Like I was gonna say like the wax museum theater, but it's like better quality. Yeah. Like it's like way better quality than that. They look exactly like. So the one that I would get, and I don't even like. I have mixed feelings about this character now because of what happened. But there was like when Star Wars Episode 7 first dropped, bro, there was a Finn hot toy that they made.
I remember.
Bro, that was John Boyega. They just shrunk him. They just shrunk John Boyega.
That's what they look like, though. Like they literally look like the actual person. They just like Ant-Man version.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? They look crazy. Yeah, bro. That the toys that made this show is really good, man. Especially when you're looking at stuff that you actually, you know what I'm saying, used to have. But yeah, that's dope. That Star Trek figure is fire.
Oh, and then so my other answer, and this is not in a box, it would be, and this is like a little bit nostalgic from. Since I'm still grieving the loss of fucking Daft Punk, but like I have the original. I put this on Instagram. The original booklet, the original inlet from the Discovery CD.
That's fire.
And it's like it's not in great condition, but it's like the original booklet from the first CD that I got of them in like 1998. And as soon as I got it, I was like, it was like a flood of nostalgia. As soon as I actually held it in my hands, like, oh my God. Like this shit took me immediately back to like when I first discovered, bro. Imagine a young hero, right? A young little boy who was thinking about making music, who would eventually become a hero, right? To pick up this CD with a bunch of sweet ass music in it, to open up the book and see that the niggas who make the music are fucking like robot niggas, dog. They just are like wearing robot helmets and playing the piano. Like, can you imagine like a better thing for me to be exposed to at that age?
Absolutely not.
It's like, oh, so these are the niggas that I want to be now forever.
And then there's the anime to go with the
right. You know then they made, and that was actually what caught my eye. This was before the anime came out. This is when it was just one video. And I'm like, bro, what? This is okay. So you made this for me specifically. Okay, thank you. Perfect. So yeah, man, that's a good question. Shout out to Eric Greenlee for the suggestion.
Yes, sir.
Here's another one. What's a toy or a game that you really wanted but never got? So many of them.
Yeah, that's such a good one. Shout out to Eric again, man. I mean, I think I pretty much know. I have two. Just obviously being a big G.I. Joe fan, I would definitely the USS Flag. Like
I was
when I
just
was,
about to say, yeah.
it's this giant like.
Nobody had that shit, bro.
No, it's
This
like
shit is
this.
a myth, dog. Like,
It's like
did you
a
actually
myth.
did you
I've
know
never seen
anybody
one.
who had it?
Nope, I didn't have any friends that had it, and it was a little bit before our time
Yeah.
too, because it came out in like the '80s. So like it was before our time, and I don't think they ever made like an updated one.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just this giant aircraft carrier, GI Joe thing. Like, and I'm talking about, bro, this thing's so big you can fit all your vehicles on it, all your characters. Like, it's just ridiculous. I think the thing probably like I don't know the original price. I would have to look at it, but there's no way that thing wasn't like $800. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? Like it was so big. I never knew anybody that had one. I just saw pictures of it, never played with one. That was probably my number one. And my number two would probably be the Technodrome set from the Ninja
Bruh.
Turtles toys when we were kids.
Yes,
Bro,
100%.
the Technodrome, I wanted it so bad. I actually had the van. I had
Mm.
the
I had the
sewer.
van. You talking
I
about
had
the
the
van that
sewer.
used to shoot pizzas out of it?
Yes,
Yes, I know
like,
exactly.
I
Shoot the
had
little
the
orange
van.
pizzas. Yep, I remember
Yeah,
that
I
one.
had the van. I had the hot air. Remember the blimp? It was like the hot
Yes.
air balloon. I
Yep.
had that, but I did not have the Technodrome, and I did it. I had a friend, and let me be honest here. This was not my friend. My brother had a friend who had it. You know what I'm saying? So I'd always try to like tag along so I could play with it and stuff. So,
Bro,
but yeah,
look, man.
definitely the Technodrome, man.
So this is where my childhood I was not I did not I had an excellent, amazing childhood, right?
Right.
This is the one place where I kind of felt like it wasn't like I didn't have like, oh man, I never get to have shit. It was never that, because like I had plenty of shit, didn't want for anything. But this was the one area where my mom, her relationship with capitalism and her relationship with just like consumerism, she just could not fathom
Word.
making sense out of any playset at
Right.
all. I could never get any playset, bro. She was like, you want me to spend money on what? A thing
Right,
for you to put
bro,
your toys in? Because they used to
them
be
joints were
crazy
so
expensive.
expensive, bro. And it was like, and when you do look at it like that, it's like, bro, you could just, this is like,
You could use literally anything.
you be playing with your toys on the couch. Like, why you need a, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Bro,
why you need
you know what me
a
and Edmund used to do?
$300 playset for?
You know what me and Edmund used to do? The best playset ever was when we used to go grocery shopping with his mom, and like we would have all our toys in the fucking shopping cart. Nigga, that shit used to be great, dog. The shopping cart was the shit.
I specifically remember my mom had a workout bike, and me and my brother used to play with them on the workout bike.
Yeah,
and we would spin we would spin the wheel, and the tire in the back would be going, and we would act like they was trying to push the person's head to the to the wheel, and they'd be like, ah!
Yeah, man. So for me, man, I don't think I had any play sets, bro. And so for those who don't know, if this has changed, so you've got action figures, and then you've got like the locations, right? Like the Technodrome, the sewer, the helicarrier, like the literal location you can buy to play with your toys in, right? So I never got any of those. Edmund had a few, but I'll keep it 100 with y'all, man. Edmund had a way older sister that had a bunch of doll houses. Nigga, we used to turn the doll houses into play sets, bro.
Oh, like, 100%.
You know, it was the closest things we had.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So yeah, the play sets, I never got into any of that. I would have I used to make I would try to make play sets out of like cardboard boxes. There was a point where I was like trying to like cut them out and like color them and shit like that, but it got a little
I straight up made a wrestling ring before I got my first one.
To
play my wrestlers in.
I was just about to say that was the one play set that maybe I did have that one. I know for sure that he had a rest like that like light blue WWF
ring.
Yeah, we used to have that one. We used to fucking wrestle Power Rangers against Ninja Turtles and shit.
I used to do that too. I literally had a whole entire wrestling company that was like superheroes. Like I would do my regular wrestlers, and I had like a show, and then I would do my other. It was like from a different planet, and it was literally
Nice.
all superheroes.
That's fire. I love that.
I had a promotion with all superheroes and Ninja Turtles, and it was sweet.
Super cool. All right, man. Boom. We're making some progress. We're running through this motherfucker here today. It is time for You Can Only Pick 3.
Oh, yeah.
I am going to. I haven't checked my email yet, so let's see what we got.
It's wrestling related. You can only pick 3.
Boom. All right. So here we go. I'm going to put this on the screen later in post-production. All right, so we've got you can only pick. Go ahead.
Yes, you can only pick 3. This is kind of guys that have been champion at some point this year. Just some champions that we have currently.
Yeah.
So go ahead, man. Just random group.
Random champs. All right, so the first one we have Cody Ibushi, who's one of my favorite New Japan wrestlers, who looks like he's got the IWGP Heavyweight Championship before they unified it. I still like that.
Yeah, he had
a lot better.
He had the new one. He had the new one for a hot second.
Oh, gotcha.
Osprey. But yeah, Kota Ibushi, aka Kawhi Leonard, the wrestler.
Yeah, totally, 100%.
Just a cyborg for the sport that he's doing.
Yes. So he might be one of my first keepers, but we'll come back to that. Then we got Will Osprey, obviously a Dynamite wrestler. He's gonna have to do better with his personal shit. Obviously, nigga sacrifice his girlfriend to the belt or something. Like that.
And then this was like after he already had some things come out about him. So
right, on some like
what you doing, bro?
Yeah,
character self-sabotage.
Right. I mean, no denying though that he's one of the best wrestlers in the world.
Great wrestler.
So then we've got Shingo, who was not really on my radar until you started talking about him.
Love the guy.
But he's obviously he's still currently the champion, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Shout out to him. And I remember you called this out like 2 years ago. You called out his like rise, how he was killing it in the Super J Cup.
Yeah, he's so consistent, man. Like,
or not Super J Cup, the G1 is when he started. That's when he started going on the tear, right?
Yeah. Well, he went on the tear and Best of the Super Junior 2 years ago. Remember, he had that really crazy. The 2019, it was like the match of the year with Osprey.
Okay.
And then after that, he moved up to heavyweight and just doing the same, having all these amazing matches all the time. He's a star, man.
Yeah, he's got a really dope look too.
He's that awesome character. He's like you kind of put this in my head. He reminds me of Akuma from Street Fighter.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's awesome.
Absolutely. All right, then we've got hey man, look, dog, I'm not a huge Roman Reigns fan, but this has been a pretty good run for him. Definitely his best work to date. I haven't been watching WWE, but everybody says that this is the only thing worth watching is his Tribal Chief stuff. Look,
man. I watch everything so I can be rightfully critical and stuff. Like, I'm sorry, but it's not that good to me, bro. Like, everybody is saying how amazing it is, and I guess maybe it's because at the end of the day, bro, what's the match about to be like? And that's kind of my thing, is that I'm the way you get me is the matches, right? Like, okay, the character, I think it's the best thing for him. I think it's the best thing he's ever done. But in my opinion, the match quality hasn't changed, and that's kind of been my thing with him. Is I just don't care enough to get into his matches. I
actually think that sucks. A lot of that is not his fault because, like,
I mean, it's not, but
like, I don't even know if he's a good wrestler or not because, like, he's never been in a position where he's like had to be, just because of the type of match that they do in WWE, like,
and the type of wrestler that he is. He's not really I mean, he can move for a big guy. I'm not gonna say he's a bad wrestler, but I'm also not good. He's not somebody who, like, I have never once been like, oh, Roman Reigns is wrestling. Like, you know
Oh
what I'm
no,
saying?
well that's kind of what I mean though. Like I wonder,
Mhm.
I'm curious as to how much of that, because he's like one of the first modern WWE stars, like this version of WWE, where
Yeah, I
like
agree.
there
But
isn't that much wrestling. And so I'm curious, like I wonder if he stopped and like went away, if he just retired from WWE, went away and trained, and then went for a WW or AEW or a New Japan run, like is he even capable of being a good wrestler is what I'm curious about.
see, and the thing is, like, he is like a bigger guy, but it's like I can think of so many big guys right now, like that I just think are way better. Like I think Miro is 10 times better than him. I think Walter is 10 times better than him. You know what I'm saying? Like there's other big guys that I just think are better than he is in the ring. And I
I
don't know.
agree, but I guess the only difference between you and I right now is like he's never, it's almost like imagine being the biggest and fastest and strongest guy at your high school for your whole career. And then you go to
Mhm.
the NBA and it's like, bro, I don't have any move. Like Stanley Johnson, great
Yeah.
example. Stanley
Mhm.
Johnson,
Like,
I don't have any moves because I've never had to learn how to
yeah,
wrestle. So like
I agree.
I've been
Yeah.
the star for so long, I've never needed to like have a good match because
Mhm.
of just this apparatus around me. So I am curious, right? Like I haven't seen
And
anything that it has impressed me wrestling wise, but I also just wonder, like, bro, like what would happen if he actually tried to do, if he was in a position where he had to like be a good wrestler, could he do it or not? Is my
yeah,
question. Because he's got a
right.
great body, he's got a great look. To me, the
Yeah, I
thing,
think he does too, man. I think he's got a great look. I think, and like I said, the stuff he's doing now, it does work for him. I think it's the best thing he's done. And I will also say this, to give him some props real quick. I do think out of all the, like, when you look at all the like commercial top head stars of WWE over the last like forever years, I do think he is one of the better ones in the ring. Like I think he's
sure,
better than Hogan.
yeah,
Obviously, he's better than Ultimate Warrior. Like, you know, he's better
yeah,
than John Cena. You know what I mean? Like
right,
he's better than some of these big time. I think he's better than Triple H. You know what I'm saying?
for
He's better
sure.
than Batista. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he is better than some of their, you know, past like big time top guys. So
Right.
I'll give him those.
I just love the fact that they finally let this fool take his shirt off and he took off that goddamn
Yeah, man.
black jacket. I
The
hate that, bro.
bulletproof vest that
Like,
he
what are you doing,
swear.
bro? Like, get out of here. Uh,
Yeah, I feel you.
anyways, he's not going to be one of my keepers, obviously. Then we've got Kenny Omega, the collector, the cleaner. He's just been fucking dynamite, man. Like, just like very obvious why he is considered the best in the world. Like, couldn't have picked a better person to carry this company. Sure, you had.
Also, quick
But
note. I know you probably didn't see the AAA match with Andrade. It's on YouTube, so you can
oh,
watch it.
is
But
it?
but he does a promo like after that match, and I think it's the best promo he's done all year. So you should watch it.
All right, bet. And he's great. Like, I don't think I got a chance to appreciate how good he is on the mic until now.
Bruh, he's amazing.
He's got like literally the
So
whole
many
package.
so many people hate him, and I just I don't understand. I don't understand why. He's if you're a wrestling fan, I feel like he's everything that a wrestling fan should appreciate about wrestling.
Yeah,
He's
I
a
agree.
over the top cuckoo, like,
He's a
you know what
comic
I'm
book
saying.
character. That's what these
He's a
superheroes.
he's a comic book character. He's crazy. He's a great wrestler. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He's got great character work. He's good on the mic. Like he's got a great look. I just think he has everything that you would want.
Yeah,
in a
that just
sweeper.
reminded me of, I heard, so from like I listened to a podcast that had this woman who is a new wrestling fan. She's like our age, but she like just got into wrestling as an adult and was like somebody who didn't really understand wrestling when she was younger, like us, didn't really get into it at the time. And she gave like she had the best reaction ever to explain the appeal of wrestling. And I was like, that's brilliant. So she was like complaining, like, oh, like my boyfriend likes wrestling and I don't understand it. Like, what is this? This is stupid. Like, all the boys in my class used to watch it when I was little. I never liked it, blah, 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 blah. So then her boyfriend had her sit down and watch an episode of whatever with her. And she's also like a big nerd. Like she loves like comic books, anime, all this other stuff.
Which like this is perfect for you.
So hold on. So she watched it and literally the first thing she said was like, oh, this is comic books.
Bruh, it is. It's like live action.
Bro, that's
like
exactly
live action
why.
comic book.
Yeah, that's exactly why that world is so. There's so many, consistent fans between those worlds. It's because it hits on all the same stuff.
100%.
Kenny Omega does that to a T.
Like just when you say that, it makes me think of because whenever somebody says, "Are you like wrestling? It's fake." You know it's fake, and I say, "Power's fake." Like, what's your favorite TV show? Oh, it's fake.
Bro, you already know what I say, bro. All of this shit is made up. All this shit is make believe. What are we doing here?
Exactly, bro. What are we doing? The Matrix is fake. Right. Is that your favorite movie? Fake.
Actually, depends on who you ask. Some people are nuts. People think it's real.
Oh, my bad.
I've never been one. As much as I love the Matrix, I've never been one of those people that thought it was real. But it's interesting. It'll make you think. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. Anyways, then we've got Naito, who is one of my favorite New Japan. I mean, one of the best gimmicks ever. Him and Orange Cassidy. I would love to see them go to see who cares less.
Who cares less?
I bet you couldn't even get them niggas to fight, bro. They'll just
that's what would be so funny is if the match took like 10 minutes to even get started.
Right. And it was just like,
oh my God.
That would be I would pay to see that, bro.
I would too. That would be incredible.
Naito might be my second keeper. Well, we'll come back to it. I think it's gonna come down between four. But my next keeper for sure, we talked about comic books. It's truest for Kenny Omega, and it's probably just as true for this character, but kinda Darby Allen. And like the Sting comparison makes so much more sense, which by the way, this is one of my greatest predictions, bro. I called this shit literally like a year and a half before it happened, like with no context at all. Like, bro, wouldn't it be cool if Darby Allen or if Sting was Darby Allen's manager? It's literally, I just happened to say that on a whim, and what do you know?
I remember
exactly what happened. But Sting was another character. I mean, he was a fucking comic book anti-hero. Like his gimmick was literally the Crow, which was a comic book anti-hero, right? So you see Sting, you see Darby Allen like borrowing from that, like just larger than life, like superhero, super villain, super vigilante theme. Right. Just, I mean, that's wrestling at its best, is when you just lean all the way into that. So I'm here for it. That's definitely my second keeper. Bobby Lashley. I wanted to, when I first got back into wrestling, I wanted to like him, but he's just a total zero personality, just block of wood with a bunch of abs.
He looks like Nikki from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He looks like Nikki drank some mutagen.
Right, exactly.
Just got
didn't grow up, but just drank mutagen.
Just right.
And turned into Tokar and Razor, except it's Bobby Lashley. They tell me that. I mean, shout out to him for being a legit MMA fighter. He's got legit fighting chops. I suppose he's an okay wrestler, but I just hate that he's got like negative personality. It's like less than anytime he gets on screen, like I actively become bored immediately. Like, bro, what?
Facts.
Who cares?
And I just like, I've never been a big plotting, big strong guy. You know.
Yes, I'm with you on that.
It's just not my thing. So.
Yeah. I don't know much about Walter, but I hear he can wrestle. Shout out to Walter.
Walter's dope, man. He's, for a big guy, I like him a
lot. I'll take your word for it. I don't know a lot about him, but he's got.
I kind of wish more big guys would. I get he just wrestles more of a high octane style for a big guy. Like like when I think of all the big guys that are really good that can go, like I think of Walter Miro, Jeff Cobb. You know what I'm saying? There's
would you consider Big E a big guy?
Big E. Yeah, there's another one. I have Walter, Jeff Cobb, Big E, Miro.
No, Big E is so damn athletic, it's ridiculous.
He is, bro, and I think those are the types of big guys I like to watch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Even like Lance Archer. I think Lance Archer can wrestle for a big guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, all of the AEW big guys are pretty good. I think what's the guy in the inner circle? What's his name?
Oh yeah, Jake Hager.
Actually, that's not. I like him, but that's not who I was talking about. The other big guy. Not in.
Oh, you talking? Oh, Wardlow.
Wardlow. Yeah.
Wardlow can go too, man. Yeah, he can move as well. And Luchasaurus, I love Luchasaurus, but we always talk how he just needs some work on his. The full match. Right.
It's just like, bro, he'll just have moments in between. He'll have like amazing spot after amazing spot, but like everything in between, he's just like a robot. He's like
what do I do? What do I do that?
And then he does another like amazing thing, but like in between each spot, he's just like, bro, what you doing? Dog?
He's just like hilarious, man, but true.
All right, so if I'm picking three, I'm definitely gonna go with Kenny Omega, Darby Allen, and I think just because you've hyped me up on the story behind Naito and his quest for the belt, I'm gonna go with Naito over Ibushi.
Best long-term wrestling story ever.
Boom.
Yes, sir. All right, man.
That story and Kofi Mania
and Kofi
year-long build-up was some of the best storytelling ever.
Ever. Yeah, man. Let's go. I can't see, so I know first that we got but I know we got Cody Ibushi first.
You're good. I can hear you.
Okay. I'm a big Ibushi fan. Big Ibushi fan. Just crazy, ridiculous athlete. I always call him Kawhi Leonard because he's just a robot for wrestling.
Would like to wrestle.exe.
Just an amazing wrestler. I do think that I don't know why they did him like they did him with the belts. I think he got
hold on. Let me interject real quick because we got to tell that real quick story about that bot that emailed us. You remember that shit, bro?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
So our manager gets this email from, and when he sent it to me, I'm like, bro, you need to do a better job. I mean, we love Chris, but like,
sounds kind of body. That was what I said.
Bro, did you even read this email? Like, I read it. He forwarded it to me, and it was clearly.
Oh my machine.
It was just like a copy and paste with like a couple of spaces where you can put in relevant data.
Like to participate.
Right. me and Noveliss were just joking back and forth. Like he sent the picture of the Terminator, dog. Would like to join, would like to do podcast.exe. So
Skynet, dog.
That's funny. Anyways, it was somebody asking to be a guest. And it was somebody who clearly didn't know who we were and just was like an algorithm trying to get this person some more clicks.
Really enjoyed your last episode, man.
Right.
Bro, I sent that picture of the Terminator.
That shit had me crying, dog.
It was a robot, man.
It's almost like one of those robots that's like almost believable until like that. Hey guys, I'd like to join your podcast.
and then their skin like drips down real quick, and they have to hurry up. They have to hurry up and fix it.
Funny. All right, my bad. So yeah, that's Cody Ibushi, the WrestleBot.
Oh man,
WrestleTron 3000.
WrestleTron, Phoenix Splash. Who's after him like this?
So the next two are Osprey and Shingo.
Oh man, Will Osprey, incredible wrestler. Um, but you know, man, I just ever since these things came out about him, I cannot stand the guy, and I really wish that wasn't the case because he is an incredible wrestler, man. But I just don't like him anymore because of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and then you got Shingo, who I love. I'm super high on Shingo. Just incredible wrestler. He's just a dude that just goes extremely hard every time has a match. He's very similar to Kenny when he was in New Japan, just in terms that like if he's on the card, like he's gonna have the best match. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, I love Shingo. He would be my first keeper but he won't be only because I can't not make someone else on this list my first keeper. What's the next three?
The next three are Roman Reigns, Kenny Omega, and Naito.
So we got Roman Reigns again. I mean, I'm gonna give him his props. Like this is the best thing he's ever done, but I'm just not a fan. But then we got the GOATs, in my opinion. We got the Bill Collector. We got Kenny Omega. You want character work, you got it. You want best wrestling matches you ever seen, you got it. You want explosiveness, creative move, good move set, sweet finishing move. Like he's just everything, man. I love Kenny. Come on, man. Like if I was to sit here and think about my favorite matches of all time, say I did my top 5 just favorite wrestling matches ever, I would have to make an effort to not have him in all 5. Like
that's
I would
crazy.
have to make a conscious effort for him to not be in all 5. He's got some of the best matches ever. But Kenny, this is my first keeper. Is gonna be Omega. Yeah. Who we got next? Naito.
Yep.
And then we got Tetsuya Naito, who one of my favorite wrestlers ever. He got the short end of the stick, man. He had to be the COVID champion. You know what I'm saying? We got that amazing payoff at Wrestle Kingdom a couple years ago. And he had to be champion during COVID, man. You know what I mean? So he finally got the belts. This is like this storyline has been going on for so long. You know what I mean? And he finally got his belt after this like 6-year build up, and then this happened. You know what I'm saying? So I love Naito. He's actually gonna be my second keeper on this.
Boom.
So definitely he's gonna be my second keeper. Another guy, some amazing matches. Destino, I think I would say that's the best finishing move of all time, but Ember Moon with the Eclipse, I think that's the best finishing move.
I agree. All right. The next 3 are Darby Allen, Walter, and the big black guy whose name I can't remember now. Bobby Lashley.
So we got Bobby Lashley. We got Darby Allen, who I think Darby Allen's sweet.
Yes.
And then we got Walter, who again I said one of my favorite big guys. Just a brutal style wrestler, man. He's really dope. I like Walter a lot. But my third keeper is obviously gonna be Shingo Takagi, man. Big, huge fan. I think he is saving New Japan right now, saving them from the belt change that nobody liked. He's to the Osprey getting hurt and them not knowing what they're gonna do. I think he has like rescued that company this year. I think he is right up there with Kenny Omega as like the best wrestler of the year. So that's my 3 keepers, man. Kenny, Naito, and Shingo. Boom.
All right, man.
We back. Top 5 of the day. We're still back in the top 5. I like this one. Give me top 5 characters who you feel like they're you, like the top 5. What does it actually say word for word?
The exact word for you actually sent another text because I think you were already leaking confidence about how to like say that.
Oh, whoops.
So the top 5 is the top 5. Okay. It literally now I see why you sent another text. Your first text literally says top 5 is yourself in 5 characters, which
there we go.
Which I get, but it's also like I
Right.
have to like turn it upside down and like wait. So basically, like, what are the top 5 characters that you see yourself in?
Yeah, there we go. Boom. That sounds way better.
Boom.
You hear that?
That's the one.
That's right.
All right. So it's hard for me because I don't like to put myself in a box, and unfortunately, most characters.
You got 5 boxes here.
True. That does make it easier. But you know, the reality of the situation is that most characters are not like you. It's not a hot take to say that most characters are generic, right? Like because it's like when you have a really good character, like it's usually not generic. So it's like rare to have a bunch of really good characters. So it's harder for me to I'm filibustering right now because I can't find my list. So it's harder for me to think of like just one particular character that I see myself in, or that I see myself in totally. But so the way I did it, I found the list now so I can stop talking. Was that I like found 5 characters that represented myself at different stages in life, and I like it. I projected into the future as well.
Oh, love it.
So starting
I love that.
So starting from youngest to oldest, here's where we are. So very, very first one, number 5, is Miles Morales, who is
love it.
This is a teenager who, like at the time when I was a teenager, like everybody, especially men, especially us two, like it's probably more true for literally me and him more than any other human being on earth. But like, especially men, every man thinks that they're the main character of their own comic book, right? Like at all times, right? Like everything you do, like you have a comic panel. When you walk into the room, there's like a comic panel. When you like you like monologue to yourself when nobody's looking. Like we all think we're the main character of our own action movie, right? So like, especially when I'm in high school, I was exactly like Miles Morales, right? Like kind of a nerd, but also cool. Like played basketball, but also did martial arts. Was into like we find out in Miles Morales the game that he like makes beats, which is like, all right, so this is a young Omari, like completely
right.
But like, you know, was confused and like any other teenager, not sure what they wanted to be for themselves, but finally found a unique identity to hold on to, which was all of those things, right? Superhero, Black person, brown person, Latin person, musician, martial artist, all of these things, smart person, right? Put them all into one package that was like dope. That's Miles Morales. I didn't quite have it as together as Miles did when I was in high school, but I definitely like was heading in that direction and I wanted to get there for sure. Right. So then we've got like the young confident Omari who like is like a young hot shot that's got a lot of talent, a lot of upside, but like still doesn't really know shit and like is really susceptible to some really easy mistakes and really easy pitfalls. And this is for all my Game of Thrones fans, not Jon Snow, because Jon Snow was like a chosen one. I'm gonna go with his older brother, Robb Stark. Now, if you don't know, it's super hard to explain. I know you don't know, you're not a Game of Thrones guy, but Robb Stark was like so Ned Stark was sort of the main character at first. He's like the king of the North, the king of the Starks. He is like the main person that's going against the main bad guys who are the Lannisters, kind of. And nobody is really gray. There's not really a true hero, true villain. Either way it goes, he ends up getting killed. Minor spoiler, major spoiler, actually. He gets killed on some whole shit and like really alienates. He makes an enemy out of the kingdom. And his oldest son is Robb Stark. And Robb Stark is the man. Robb Stark is like, he's that nigga. He's like that next guy who was gonna be. He had it all together. He's like a dope warrior. He's an excellent swordsman, like a great leader. He has everybody's respect. Like really handsome. All the like ladies want to like be his queen, right? Like he's like got it all together. So he's this young hot shot. Got a sweet ass wolf on his arm. Like he's just a sweet ass character, just like super dope. but like that nigga, he made a mistake and slipped and fell into some pussy, and it fucked him up. Right?
It messed him up.
It really fucked him up. And he made a really like a tactical error. No matter how much he had his shit together, he made a real rookie move, a real rookie mistake, and like ended up getting him killed. Now, luckily, nothing like that has ever happened to me, but definitely when you're like young and like a hot shot, you definitely are susceptible to make a real stupid decision and get knocked down a few pegs, right? So that's definitely Rob Stark for me. The phase that I think I'm in now, where I'm like, I've learned from some of my mistakes. I'm rounding into like a prime, rounding into like balancing both your intelligence, your youth, your like financial like your job, you feeling secure in your family, your finances, coming into like leadership positions, right? And I'm not perfect, but like I'm getting to a place where I feel very much like I can do anything, right? And I'm like I'm sort of rounding into form. There's no better person that represents that in the entire Marvel universe than T'Challa. King, scholar, badass martial artist, superhero, philanthropist, rich person, certainly not rich, but also like the king of a Black African country. And, right. That's definitely the shit I'm on right now in terms of being on some like professional woke shit, right? So like, so T'Challa definitely is where I am now. Now, here's where I don't hope that this happens, but like, imagine a scenario 10, 15, 20 years from now where like there hasn't been as much progress and we are still fighting the same fight. And now I'm a grizzled old veteran fighting the same civil rights fight that I done fought for 50 years at this point. Now I'm Magneto, God damn it. You know what I'm saying, dog? Now I'm Magneto. And now I'm like, bro, y'all niggas about to fucking listen by any means necessary, or we running up in y'all shit and we fucking magnetizing all the guns out of y'all hands, and it's over. Y'all are helpless now, right? So obviously I hope that this doesn't happen, right? Like I like versions of Magneto who are like militant, but you understand the pain that caused Magneto to get here, right? Mm-hmm. So I it's hard for me to consider him a villain based on his story. I mean, there's versions of him that are a full-on hero, but definitely a lot of pain and a lot of like hardship coming from a good place to turn him into like a hardened killer. I don't hope that I turn into that, but right. I can imagine a scenario where if the shit continues like it has been, then all of us are going to have some Magneto in us by the time we're 56. I mean, look at some of our parents, right, and some of the pain that they had to deal with. So the good news is an alternate future where the Black excellence and the Afrofuturism has reached a pinnacle, and we're all like superhuman spaceship captain, super Black motherfuckers. Then I'm Benjamin Sisko. I am Captain Benjamin Sisko in my and I'm especially when the hairline goes full betrayal, and I have to end up right. When I have to end up as the bald Black guy with the goatee, like I'm definitely gonna be on my Ben Sisko shit for sure. Ben Sisko is, I mean, just the most badass Starfleet captain ever. So I know you're not a Star Trek fan and you don't have a point of reference for this. So he punched Q in the face. So just to give you some context,
you told me about this,
bro. So Q is this superhuman. So Q is basically like Mr. Mixoplitolix from Superman, or basically like, imagine, I don't know, what's the Marvel equivalent? Like the Beyonder. So imagine the Beyonder just like comes and just, hey, I'm gonna fuck with you for a while and just make all your shit go away. And so he did that to Captain Picard for an entire series, just would randomly appear on his ship and just start fucking with shit, like make all the men disappear. He like warped them into a million like light years away and had to make them find their way back. Just all kind of just mischievous nonsense, bro. This nigga Q showed up on the Deep Space Nine and started trying to fuck with Sisko. That nigga Sisko socked him in his face Like, bro, if you don't get if you don't get your ass off my station with this bullshit, dog, all powerful, omnipotent being socked that nigga in his face, and he never came back again. Never came back again.
Oh my gosh.
So
Hilarious.
that's the kind of 70-year-old man I want to be, where I can just call a shot, and I don't care who you are, President of the United States, bro. Don't ever fucking talk to me crazy. I'll be talking. So yeah, that's me at 60, 70 years old. So
Love it.
Miles, Rob Stark, T'Challa, Magneto, and Ben Sisko.
I love it. That's a great list, man. I love the way you approached it. Mine could also kind of be, I guess, said in that way. So I'm gonna try to stay with the theme that you had. Coming in at number 5, I'm going with, again, right, starting off in the youth, kind of the young, quiet, maybe running away from responsibilities a little bit. I would say I'm going to say Aang from Avatar.
Totally.
That's definitely me. Probably from my youth all the way up until a couple years ago. You know what I'm saying? Just quiet, kind of quiet, keeping myself. But most importantly, like doing things my way and doing things, and did things his way, no matter what people were saying to him, no matter what type of advice he was getting from people, he always did things the way that he saw fit and the way that he thought was the best way to do things. And just a peaceful guy, man. So I would say Aang at number 5. Coming in at number 4. A little older now, right? Heading into young adulthood. And when I think of my a big chapter in my life with Clear Soul Forces, I gotta say Leonardo from Ninja Turtles. Totally. At number 4. Just the I think I definitely was a leader and not just, I think we all led in different ways, right? But I think I was a leader in some form or another, and just always knew when to get serious and handle business. You know what I'm saying?
Totally, so, I agree.
And then always looking out for the best interests of your brothers, which is what I always do and did with my group, and just always understanding that making sure everybody's good, is a big responsibility. So. Right. Leo at number 4.
Hold on, wait. Before you move off of that, if I had to assign turtle personalities to each member of Clear Soul Forces, here's how I'm doing it. Check me if I'm right or wrong.
Okay.
Noveliss is Leonardo. Elijah Day, Raph. And I so either Raph or Mikey, but I think Raph, because I think Donnie is Emil. And I think it's got to be, because like the jokester, it's got to be Jarrell as Mikey, and also like the one that's probably the most like people person.
Mm-hmm. That's really good. I think you're right on the nose.
And like you got Elijah Day, who's like probably like among the most talented, like right up there with Leo. But like Elijah Day is going to do things his way no matter what type thing, right? And you got
such perfect examples.
You got Emil, who's like, I don't know Emil as well as I know the other guys, but like Donnie is kind of like
genius.
Right. Just kind of like just knows a little bit about everything.
Donnie is the leader behind. Donnie's the leader off the battlefield, and I think that's what Emil was too. He was the leader coming up with all the stuff and the plans. You know what I'm saying? Like that's totally.
Can totally see that. Shout out to Emil, by the way. I've been helping him work on his new record. Sounds really, really good. Can't wait for y'all to hear that.
Yes, sir. And then we got number 3, man. Coming in number 3, I'm going with Minato from Naruto, 4th Kage.
Yes.
A little older now, right? And understanding that once you have children, your life is not the most important thing.
Yep.
And I feel like that's definitely me. And I love Minato, man. Just a legend, right? Super skilled and still was the legend up until the time he was gone. And as soon as his son was born, he already was like, oh, all right, I'm about to risk it all to save my kid. You know what I'm saying? So that's my number 3. And then coming in at number 2, man, right? Getting adulthood. I'm gonna go with a character who I definitely think represents me now and for a long time, and that's gonna be Jin from Samurai Champloo. This quiet character who is really just kind of, if he's not doing his art, he's very awkward, and I definitely feel that way. Just a very, martial arts to the core, but when he's not using his sword, he's just a big time, just a quiet, doesn't know what to do with himself. I feel that way a lot. And that's my number 2. But my number 1, if we go 30 years down the line, I think I've seen my fair share of battles. I have a lot of stories to tell. I think I've offered a lot of wisdom to some youngsters. And then my number 1 is going to be Uncle Iroh, man, from Avatar.
That's dope.
I really think that I already see myself a lot in him now. And I just think when I'm older, especially, I think I will totally become that guy. So that's going to be my number 1. Boom. All right, man. That's my top 5, man. Number 5, Aang from Avatar. Number 4, Leonardo from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Number 3, Minato from Naruto. Number 2 is going to be Jin for Samurai Champloo. Number 1, General Uncle Iroh, the Great Dragon of the West.
Boom.
That's it, man. Episode 94 in the books. Hey, man. I guess we can say it now because we won't have another episode before it happens. This Friday, August 20th, Ghost of Tsushima is dropping the expansion, Iki Island. I believe that's what it's called.
Yep.
I can't wait. Extremely excited. But me and Hero are also going to be dropping a song to commemorate the release of that. Okay, we got a song coming out. It's called Storm of Clan Sakai. Ghost of Tsushima, just definitely just a joint for the game. Okay, super Ghost of Tsushima heavy. Produced by, of course, the GOAT Hero over there. And it's a really awesome song. I can't wait for you guys to hear it, man. So this Friday, play the Ghost of Tsushima expansion. And also make sure you guys check out me and Hero's song that'll be dropping. It's called Storm of Clan Sakai.
Yep.
Boom.
Let's go. Can't wait for y'all to hear it. It's really dope.
It's really dope, man. So yeah, man, episode 94 in the books. Catch y'all next week.
Check it.
Welcome back, Hero.
My word is my sword, Hokage and Batosai, pulling the blades out of the forge, yo. Prior to my knowledge of the Force, was thinking Jedi, but through obtaining holocrons from both sides, I'm under gray skies. Everything that glitter ain't kyber crystal, my mind will lift you. In this time we shine together, disarm your pistol, yo. Welcome to the SwordCast, SwordCast. My wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast, SwordCast. My wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast, SwordCast. My wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast, SwordCast. My wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash.